This video has been a long time coming. How to collaborate with brands as an artist or as a creative. I am a visual artist and I've had some really amazing collaborations so far. Some of my favorites have been with Lululemon, Converse, Peugeot, Whittakers, Blunt Umbrellas. It's been an amazing journey. Being an artist or a creative, there's no path to follow. There's no recipe of how to do things, and you kind of need to figure it out yourself. It's very unique to who you are, and because as creatives we're all very, very different, it isn't something that works for everyone. However, in saying that, I've had a fair bit of experience now of collaborating with brands. I thought it was time to share this with you all. So in this video, I'm going to tell you the different steps involved with how you might be able to get a brand collaboration. Hi, my name is Lizzie Snow and I work under my artist name 4100. I create contemporary explorations of the mandala and fractal inspired artworks. I draw, paint murals internationally, release prints, products, and collaborate with select brands around the world. Welcome to my YouTube. Click the mandala in the corner to subscribe to my channel, as I upload art and art business videos every single week. Typically you can't approach a brand and ask to collaborate, or you can but you probably won't get a response, and this is because there are millions of artists and creatives, and of course everyone would like to collaborate. So these are the steps that you can take to try and open up an opportunity for a brand collaboration. My first point is about uniqueness, about not depending on anyone else or anything else, but really focusing on you and your craft. There's no one path to follow. You won't be able to do the same collaboration that I do, but I won't be able to do the same collaboration that you do. It's very unique, it's very special. These opportunities aren't every day. You need to be really unique and sure of yourself, your craft, your art, your brand, to be able to stand out in the crowd. To be someone that a brand wants to work with, already be doing something great. You don't need anyone to succeed. If you're waiting for someone or a brand or something to make things happen, it's gonna be either extremely lucky if that does happen, or it probably won't happen. Don't be waiting for these opportunities to come up. Be doing your own thing, and once you're doing something with passion and people start to notice, that's when a brand will contact you to collaborate. Create a vision. Either think about, or I recommend writing down, who you'd like to collaborate with, because there are specific brands that are going to work with you and your art style. Actually, behind me, one of the pieces of paper on my corkboard or my vision board is a list of brands that I would like to collaborate with, and the feeling you get when you cross them off is quite something. So create a vision or a list of brands that you feel that you and your work align with and that you dream to work with one day. The way I think of manifestation is externalizing something that you'd really like to happen, and then by writing it down you're kind of setting a goal. I'm not necessarily talking about like the shift of energy and fate, but more that like it becomes a focal point. So then you're able to take steps to make this thing happen. You notice situations that allow these things to come to life. You work towards them, and having a list really helps with that. That leads on to the next point, which is finding brands that align with you and your work, and also the ones that don't. So what do I mean by that? I'll use an example of a brand that I've turned down. I was contacted by a dating app to see if we wanted to work together. They offered a very large compensation package, so obviously it was tempting, but having a dating app, it doesn't align with my brand, both aesthetically and in content. There's nothing wrong with dating apps, it's just not part of what I present to the world, and also doesn't suit my audience. So it's not just about you and your brand, but also your community. What does your community want to see with you and about you, and what will they relate to? Because it's about creating things that actually align in real life. So for example, I really align with Lululemon. Yoga and the mandala align in lots of different ways. I was really honored when they asked me to be one of their brand ambassadors, and I continue to really enjoy the brand. So that aligns with me because art and yoga are very intertwined. We have similar aesthetics, we are related to each other in lots of different ways, and a large segment of my audience and the people that follow my work already enjoy or relate to Lululemon. So that's an example of a really good alignment. So for you, your brand and your creative vision, think about the brands that don't align, think about the brands that do align. What can they offer you? What can you offer them? How can that provide value to your community? And also, does it help you where you want to go? Think about your 1, 3, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years goal. Does this help direct you on the path that you'd like to go on? Okay, so actually making it happen. Something that I recommend is connecting in real life first. Lots of brands hold different events or go to different events or expos, and I recommend connecting in real life first. Create a real connection and relationship with an actual person, not just the idea of a brand. Create that connection, actually get to know them, become on a first name basis, go to lots of different events, that kind of thing. So this could be over a couple of years, a real relationship. This leads on to the next one, which is about maintaining this relationship. Not just networking, but actually creating a relationship. Example of that is people that I've connected to in different brands, I'm still friends with now, even once they have left that company. So it's not a relationship based on the benefits that could happen, but we actually connected, enjoy each other's company, and either keep in touch or are still friends to this day. So that is a real relationship. So of course, the way I met them was through a business connection, but it then blossomed into an actual relationship. It was not, how can I be friends with this person to get somewhere? Find the people that you actually relate to, the people you click with, then those natural relationships potentially could lead on to other situations that could help you in your goal of collaborating with that brand. I feel awkward talking about this one because I feel like it sounds superficial, but it's really not. Like, you getting to know that person, they also know you through that sense, through their company, but it doesn't just have to be that way. And I feel like getting to the point where you enjoy each other's company to the point that even once they're not associated with that brand, you're still friends with them, that kind of shows what I mean. Don't use people, don't be fake, create real relationships, and that can lead to real things. When you have those really strong relationships established and you're kind of part of that culture, then you might be top of mind when an opportunity comes up. Now that you've connected with those people in real life, connect on social media second. So you might be inclined to do the social media first, but I find that this is most beneficial when you actually do it second. So create those real relationships and then you can follow it up online. So follow, engage, be present on their social media, be on their radar. That also means that your social media and online presence, your entire brand needs to be thought out and professional and to a high standard, a high quality, because a brand doesn't want to work with someone that's all over the place or not kind of defined in who they are or what they have to offer. So just make sure that you are presenting yourself, your work, and your creativity in a way that you want to be seen. The next point I want to touch on is thinking about what you have to offer. There are millions of artists, and of course everyone would like to collaborate with big brands, but that's not possible. Brands, when they work with someone, it needs to be mutually beneficial. So what do you have to offer? It's usually multiple things put together. There's also an element of storytelling. What is your story, and what about you and your story is interesting and can be intertwined into this collaboration, marketed on, for example. You might have a very strong personality or a very specific pathway or struggle you've been on, or something that makes you kind of stand out from the crowd. Examples of what I have to offer, just as an example, because of course this is unique to everyone, I'm just sharing my experiences with you, is I have lots of different things I can offer. I'm quite developed in my craft. I've gotten to a point where it's very clean and concise and very accurate and aligned to where I want to be in my craft. Of course, always improving, but at a professional level. My social media is very strong. I've collaborated with brands before. I have quite a lot of different media features. I sell my work worldwide and I've painted murals internationally. And when those things start to build up, it just also becomes easier and easier. That first collaboration is definitely the most difficult one because you don't really have much backing or reputation. Once you've collaborated with lots of different brands, then you get to be the one that kind of picks and chooses a bit more. So say you've been asked to do this collaboration, congratulations. So there are lots of different parts to it. I think I'll have to make a whole separate video on pricing and contracts, but just know that every business is different. Companies have a very, very different budget and way of working with people. Some companies have worked with many different artists before, or creatives. They'll have a set contract and a set budget, and you kind of go along with that with some tweaks. Some really haven't done it before or are very flexible, so you might be able to write your own contract or have your own lawyer do it. There might be a lot of flexibility, so just be prepared to negotiate on the terms of the contract, the compensation, but also have enough flexibility to be able to accept it if you can't get where you want to be. I've definitely lost a couple of collaborations earlier on in my career when I negotiated a bit too much. So not necessarily even monetary compensation, but terms and conditions in a contract, for example. So just be aware that even if you've been asked to do the collaboration, it hasn't happened until it's happened. Being professional in this situation is also knowing about your own boundaries, whether it's the contract, the compensation, the idea, the story, what they're asking you to do. You need to know how to say no without being rude, how to negotiate, how to really stand on your own 2 feet. In my experience, I've found that the more confident you are, the more equal the collaboration is. You want it to be mutually beneficial, and then everything becomes a bit more balanced and respectful instead of just kind of saying yes to everything. Sometimes you might even have to walk away from something if it just doesn't suit you. I'll give you an example of that. Is that one time I had a skincare company approach me to do a collaboration, and I was very excited because I'd wanted to work with them for a long time. They came to me with an offer, so it was to create XYZ. The compensation was several different things, so part payment, part royalty, part product, part media. There were lots of different parts to it. There were just several parts of it that were not exploitive, but I just know my worth. Knowing your worth is so important. So after a bit of back and forth negotiating, I actually decided to let that collaboration go. And I think about it a lot, that collaboration, still to this day. Should I have taken it? Was it a good idea to kind of stick to my guns? But I am glad that I turned it down. It wasn't rude, and it was the right thing to do because I don't want to work for less than what I'm worth. Of course, you can be flexible and you can judge what is going to be really beneficial for you. So for example, if your absolute dream collaboration comes up, one that you never thought you'd get, and they're offering you a little bit less than what you would have hoped, but you will gain so much experience or XYZ from it, then take it. What am I trying to say? I'm sorry, this is so all over the place at this point. What I'm just trying to say is know your worth, stick to it, but also know when to be flexible as well. The first thing I'd recommend when you do the collaboration is to deliver more than is expected. So, I mean, in life in general, I guess, to be able to under-promise and over-deliver is always better than over-promising and under-delivering. So this means that the brand has a great experience, you have a great experience, and you present this very curated, interesting package out into the world. And even if you're not looking at wanting to collaborate all the business, as a creative and an artist, you want to do your best work. Like, your work is perfecting this thing. So I treat my collaborations like a piece of art in itself. There are so many different aspects that go into it. I want to try and make every single part of it really, really good. The next thing you'll want to do is document the collaboration thoroughly. In my work, for example, I might have a lot of prep that I'm doing for a design that might be printed onto a product with a company. So I'll want to create my own content around that. So I'm photographing every process, I'm videoing, time-lapsing, writing things down. I'm just documenting the entire thing. This gives myself a reference point and a way to look back at past collaborations to see what worked, what didn't, for example, when I'm writing myself notes. But it also means I'm creating a large bank of visual content for social media and my portfolio. When you're able to document all these things yourself and have a very strong portfolio that progresses you, your art, and your career, but also might help you gain more collaborations in the future because you have everything very well documented. Always be developing that portfolio. That leads on to the next point, which is then sharing that collaboration with the world. So you'll probably have a set discussion or agreement about how you'll present the collaboration in terms of media. So the brand might have media connections with magazines, newspapers, influencers. You might have a joint release date when you post a specific image to social media, but there are also lots of things that you can do as well. So for example, batching content. So you might be able to take a video of you creating the design, and then you can split that into horizontal video for Facebook and YouTube. Then you can take vertical sections of that video to upload to TikTok, Instagram Reels, Instagram Stories, Snapchat, different vertical platforms. You can take a screenshot, upload it to Twitter with a quote or a link. Make sure you're documenting and sharing it with the world. There are so many different ways to make social media easier for yourself because it can be overwhelming. But when you're creating a collaboration, naturally there's just so much to document and share with the world, and people are really interested in it too. So definitely create all of those different things and put it out there. Also on your website too. I like my website to be a living, breathing thing. I edit it almost every day, definitely several times a week, adding media features to the website, different links, a blog post, a link to a new YouTube video, a story about a new collaboration, updating the homepage, updating the Instagram landing page on the website, just keeping it fresh and relevant, maybe a special code. Then there's the email newsletter. It really goes on and on. Make sure you document and share your collaboration really extensively across all your different platforms. Once you have a few collaborations under your belt, they really start to get rolling. Waking up to emails asking to collaborate with a big brand is just the most amazing feeling, and I can't wait for you to experience that too. There we are. Those are my points of how to collaborate with a brand as an artist or a creative. I really hope this video was helpful. I haven't really shared this information before, so please leave a comment down below. I'd love to know if you have any more questions or comments, or perhaps you've collaborated with a brand and you'd like to share your experiences. I release a new video every single Wednesday on art and art business, so they range from things like painting and art marketing, collaborations, and also art and artist lifestyle things. So remember to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.